Whom could he call on to follow him? The rich Jews had already gotten a kind of mayor of Broadsville arrangement and limited ability to regulate their tribal community, were comfortable with the rule of the Romans, and were terrified at the prospect of the terror that would follow a failed military revolt. Some revolts had been attempted and had been severely smashed and empire and the army. Under these circumstances, what should a responsible Jew do? If an upstart appeared to be gaining a popular street following, when it appeared that Jesus was going to enter Jerusalem in a fashion that would reflect the fulfillment of a Jewish prophecy that the Messiah would enter riding on a donkey, the Jewish legislatures in the Sanhedrin, the mayor of Bronzeville kind of situation that they had, decided that something had to be done. Military intelligence, political intelligence was available to Jesus' supporters, and the supporters of the Jewish leadership community. Both sides had done their own homework as to what should we do. Either the side of Jesus deciding that they would pursue some efforts beyond the entry into Jerusalem. On the side of the Jewish leadership community, the Sanhedrin, their legislative body, that they would have to stop him for their own salvation and the ability to not be wiped out. The Romans conceded to the Jews' jurisdiction over matters such as their religious blasphemy, but of course sedition was a different matter, which was punishable by death. Jesus and his inner circle had to decide how to use the momentum of his charisma and popularity. They could try to build an army and confront the Romans, or give up the struggle, or take a third choice. A second alternative was to die in such a way that the flame of revolution would be fanned and would lead to further action. A third was that something bigger than the Jewish revolt against the Romans could follow, the reunification of God and Jesus, and a rule of justice being brought to earth with the return of the crucified Jesus after the crucifixion, the return of Jesus to earth. Jesus entered Jerusalem riding on a donkey with his followers placing palms in his path, a token of respect and reverence, and met later with his disciples for the Last Supper. A Jewish Seder was, which is what the Last Supper was, with a new twist. Do this, he said, as he drank a glass of wine, in remembrance of me, the blood which will be shed for you. And eating a bit of bread, he said, do this in remembrance of me as a symbol of my body given for you. And this is done on a daily basis in the Roman Catholic Mass. Apparently, Jesus' intelligence team had disclosed that one of his disciples would turn him into the Roman authorities. He said this, and it occurred. We all know the story of Judas. He also knew that one or more of the inner circle would say later that he did not know Jesus. This also happened. Peter, his trusted disciple, said, I don't know that man. I don't know what you're talking about when you talk about a connection between me and him. On the Friday of that week, a sort of trial took place with the Jews having the choice of executing Jesus or, in the alternative, accepting the death of a major criminal. They voted that Jesus should die. The gospel of Jesus, a love-based ideal, has become useful in moderating the conduct of humans. Christians became better people if they walked in his vision of love and forgiveness. We welcome Jesus and his followers into our lives and our hearts today. We rejoice that his vision has been made universal through the Catholic Church, which is a universal body, and also partly due to the universality of his ideas, which are incorporated into the religion fostered by the Unitarian Universalist religion. Unitarian Universalists have benefited from the wisdom and optimism of Christian doctrines and hope to incorporate them into a universal belief in the prospect that the ideals of love and forgiveness can be universalized, that we can all become brothers of each other and love each other and live in peace. It's an ideal that some people believe is not practical, that in the tribal groups will always fight each other and will never feel the brotherhood of mankind. The Unitarian Universalists, however, accept this as a challenge, and we believe confidently that humanity can be socialized and united into a single family. Unitarian Universalists have the ability to spread the ideal and also make it useful. This is the challenge that we face. This is the reason that we are Unitarian Universalists. Amen.
Amen.